Obviously, the dog has decided to vainly uplift himself to a pinnacle of glory in this adventurous journey into the abyss of lies and deceit. He says he has exposed me. Has the dog lived so long under the glorious principle of do as I say and not as I do? Has he lived so long under this principle that he seems to forget who is who and what is what? I'm fearful and afraid that the dog is laid in the warm sunlight of the porch for so long that he's twitching in some fantasy dreamland. So I say to the dog, expose what? How can the dog expose something that I've always been transparent about? Yes, I've admitted I was getting overweight. I'd gained close to 30 pounds. And although I had already been working out with Billy Blanks and I was doing some treadmill running, I will admit, yes, and I have admitted that the dog did talk to me about running some 5Ks, of which we ran the race for the cure in Detroit together, and of which, in my first 5K, I whipped him back then. I have whipped the dog in every race he has ever raced in with me. I have finished races, went and got my drink and my banana, dried off, changed my shirt, and then went back 8 or 9 minutes later to cheer him on, to help him get his fat carcass across the finish line. Last year was the first year the man posted a 5K better than 25 minutes. I mean, we're talking about a man, after 10 years, he finally beat Old Man DePace in a 5K. I mean, Old Man DePace was his arch nemesis in a 5K. We go to a 5K, especially Hanson's. I'm getting DePace, I'm getting DePace. And he'd fall apart. DePace would always pass him, tug him on his shoulder, run on by. I never had opportunity to do that with him because I was always ahead. And he wants to expose me. The dog wants to expose me. And while I train for marathon after marathon after marathon, what was the dog doing? Where was the dog? I will tell you where he was. He was exposing his tongue and belly to food and more food. He's getting fat and shot-collared. Shot-collared by an invisible fence of domestication. No, while I was training and passing over the 14,000 miles log mark, where was the dog? I'll tell you where he was. He was downstairs burning incense around his shrine, his picture of triathletism. The shrine of yesteryear and has-beens. But, you know, I understand. I understand what it's like to be a leader and to carry a target on your back. Because while the dog was still in diapers, I was wrestling for county and state wrestling championships. At every seeding meeting for tournaments, there was never a fight on who was going to be seeded first for the tourney. They knew it was me. I had the target on my back in my weight class. It was the mansion who they had to beat. So I know. I understand the dog. I understand his frustration. I understand his quick-tempered, ankle-biting, snapping that goes on. And as the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. And tonight, I'm just exposing the pudding. And maybe brethren, dog, maybe, just maybe 10 years from now, dog, when you're 51 years old, you too can come to the place where only the Matrix opens the door of truth.